So from all these parameters, we decided we will start a brand for the millennial who's looking for not so fast fashion, durable quality fashion at an affordable price. Jason, what do you think? How many times would you wear a shirt? So I would ask Fibin, how many times do you think you need to wear a shirt? They do not want to go in the same shirt or t-shirt maybe more than twice the price. So that is exactly what producers are producing for. A capsule wardrobe, where you do not have quantity of shirts, but you have a few quality products, let's say 10 shirts and 10 pants, and then you can combine it for the whole year.
So in India, where do you get the best fabrics? For our South Indian weather, what is the ideal fabric?
Always best. I have no idea about how to sell online, but I knew that this was going to be a very relevant channel in the future.
Okay.
So the first purchases are the hardest, and the most important. Too much communication is actually bad. So just put it as simple as possible. And that is how we ended up speaking to Fahad.
And how does these celebrity endorsements work?
Hi all, so welcome to another episode of After the Blu Podcast powered by Blusteak. So I'm very excited to welcome Mr. Ladeesh, who is the founder of Estilocus. Hi Ladeesh, welcome to our podcast.
Hi.
Yeah. So ഞാൻ ലതീഷിൻ്റെ ലിങ്ക്ഡിനകത്ത് ഫസ്റ്റ് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാനൊന്ന് നോക്കുമായിരുന്നു. സോ അപ്പോഴത്തേക്ക് ഞാൻ കണ്ടാണ് 4 years back. So this Wednesday will witness the rise up of a new fashion ethos, embrace it and conquer the world, Estilocus. So just wanted to ask, what was the inspiration behind Estilocus and what validated you to fix that, okay, I'm moving forward with a men's clothing brand?
Okay. First of all, thank you, Fibin and Jason, for having me. And it's the first time that I'm attending a podcast, and I think I love the experience. I hope you. So I had actually forgotten about this because it was a long time back now, 4 years. Yeah, so this is the time when we launched the brand. So way back in 2020. And the idea behind the brand is, first of all, we wanted to see, we wanted to start an apparel business. So me and my co-founder, his name is Mr. Anish. So we had this discussion and we wanted to start an apparel business because he has got a background in apparel. He's from his great-grandfather's type. So from 62, they are into the apparel business. So when he talked me into getting, into a business with him. We decided that we wanted to get into the apparel business. So, but what do we get into was the question. There are so many in the industry. There is a baby wear, there's an infant wear, then there's a women's clothing, there's traditional, ethnic, so many, things that you can adapt and start your business with. But then we decided to do a market research, and we spent close to around 3 to 6 months going around market in South India, and we understood that. Things are still the same old way of how business is run. For example, all big brands, which are available in India, the domestic brands, they plan their business, let's say 6 months before or 1 year ahead. What you see fashion today was planned last year.
Okay.
Yeah. So because it's a big process from fabric, manufacturing, fabric procurement. Then getting the fabric into a specific pattern or a design, and then doing so many samples, and it's like a 6 months process. It used to be. So, and it was always outdated. For example, fashion in India comes only after, let's say, 2 years that it's launched in Paris or Spain. Yeah, it comes only after 2 years.
Yes.
Earlier. So
is Paris the epicenter of fashion?
You cannot say, but Paris is definitely fashionable. But those things available in Paris, I don't think we would be able to wear it right now. Maybe we would wear it after 2 years. So a lot of fashion. Paris is a fashion hub. Also, places in Spain and there's Turkey. A lot of good places are there. But we saw that fashion was coming into India very slowly. That is because of the traditional process of how apparel is made. Right, so it takes 6 months to 1 year lead time from the fabric sourcing to the actual garment hitting the market. And there was this gap of a certain price point. So if it is a good fabric and the quality is good, and if it is fashionable, then you have to pay a very high price for it. Yeah, and we wanted to give a value proposition where we give good quality, fashionable products at an affordable price. So this is where this whole thing started off, and we did not know anything about the female clothing or what would be in their head. So we understood more about our pain points. So we were discussing on what is it that is not available. So we were saying, okay, if you are going to a big brand, you have to take something which is not so fashionable, whatever they provide. So let us make something for the Indian customer. Okay, and basically we at that point of time we were thinking about millennials. We were not thinking about the Gen Zs. Okay, so it was our pain point.
Okay.
So what would a millennial want in terms of fashion, in terms of value for money, in terms of affordability, in terms of design, in terms of fabric, in terms of stitching quality?
Okay.
So from all these parameters, we decided we will start a brand for the millennial who's looking for not so fast fashion, durable quality fashion at an affordable price.
Okay.
Yeah, and we wanted people to associate the brand to something like if you want to be yourself, you should express your individuality through the brand.
Okay.
Okay, you should be just you, right? It's an authentic showcasing of what you are, right? So this is what we wanted, and we just want people to be who they are by wearing the brand, okay, or by wearing our clothes. We do not want customers to be an extension of the brand. We wanted our brand to be an extension of the customer.
Okay.
Nice. So that is how we started off and thought about the brand, and not too loud, not in the fast fashion, quite durable, is what we thought. And then that's how we came up with the idea of Estilocus, and then we started working towards it.
Did you talk with anyone? Like you said that millennials are your target group,
Yes,
right?
yes. I did speak with a lot of people before we started the brand. Me and my co-founder, a lot of people. For example, if you're having me on this podcast, I would ask you, Jason, what do you think? How many times would you wear a shirt? Yeah?
Yeah.
Or, so I would ask Fibin, how many times do you think you need to wear a shirt? So I have talked to a lot of millennials, people my age, people younger to me.
So what did you get? So millennials, do they like fast fashion, or do they want to?
Yeah, so that is the finding. So it's a very qualitative finding. I don't have, I cannot substantiate with data or something. But a lot of people who are above the age of, let's say, 25 up to 45, they want clothes to last. They want to wear it again and again and again. So they are completely unhappy if they wear it once, and then in the first wash or in the second wear, if something happens to the fabric, then they are completely unhappy, and it's a very negative image for the brand.
Exactly.
The fast fashion crowd, right? They are very different from the millennial crowd.
Yeah.
Completely different. So everybody is like, this is the biggest segment. Gen Z is the biggest segment. Let's go behind them. But I wanted to take a different route.
Yeah.
Because Gen Zs do not, most of the discussions I had led to this point that they just want to wear it once. They want to take their pictures, and in the next, they want to have a different shirt or a different apparel. They do not want to go in the same shirt or t-shirt maybe more than twice or thrice. So that is exactly what producers are producing for. Something which will not last.
Exactly. So in our office itself, I think 50% is Gen Z. So when they get the salary, every month they go to XYZ stores, which sells fast
for
fashion.
Gen Z fast fashion, yeah.
They buy and they wear that. Next month they buy again. For me that's once in a year I shop for fashion maybe.
Okay.
Right? But Gen Z,
they shop every month.
Every month.
So I believe in this concept of a capsule, wardrobe. A capsule wardrobe, where you do not have quantity of shirts, but you have a few quality products, let's say 10 shirts and 10 pants, and then you can combine it for the whole year. Right? And I do not believe in the concept of buying, again and again and again so that you can throw it off, because, it's not that good for the...
I have a question here. Is it because is it just a problem for Gen Z, or is it a common problem for all people who are going to college? Because what I feel is that if you are going to a serious meeting, you cannot wear a fast fashion, or if you are going to an office, you cannot always wear fast fashion, right? You have to look genuine. You have to look a bit upbeat, right?
Yes.
So that is your segment, I think. So Gen Zs will eventually upgrade to...
Exactly. So I do not know whether that transition will happen or not. But right now, who is 25 or 24 considered as a Gen Z? After 5 years, he is definitely going to be a millionaire. But I do not know whether the thought process will change. It might not.
That is a question mark. Sometimes they will
just keep
on going
doing this, and sometimes they will have a realization, oh no, maybe it's better to wear one shirt or two shirts, buy only one shirt for the next 3 months, or buy only 10 shirts in a year. Right now, I feel that it's more than 3 to 4 shirts a month.
Absolutely, that is there. So then what happened? Like you found out that
So we found out that this is the segment we wanted to be in. We wanted to create good quality products with a good fit, with a good pattern and good stitching, which is weather ready. And we do not want, period. We do not want to say anything else. We do not want to say that you will become this if you wear my shirt. That is not the concept. You will only be you. Your shirt is just an expression of your, what you feel or what the others want to see in you. That's it. So it's simple.
So for anyone who wants to start a fashion business, like how do you source across India? Like how do you do that basically?
Yeah, the fashion business, in the fashion business, as in any other business, the product is the hero.
Okay.
If the product is good, then you do not need any marketing for it, is what most people say earlier. But I think it's a combination of both. But if the product is good, then half your work is done. Okay. Right? If you want a good product, then you need to source good fabric at a good price and give a good value proposition to the customer. For that, you need a good merchandising and sourcing team. Okay, if you are very small, then if you are small in scale, then it's better that you go around and understand the process. But if you can afford a merchandising and sourcing team initially, I think that would give you a heads up.
So there are other agencies who are providing merchandising, sourcing.
So actually, that is your own team.
Okay.
So these are the core team in your business.
Okay.
Right? There should be, widely dividing it, there should be a production team, there should be a sales team, and there should be an operations team. So merchandising and sourcing team is part of the production team.
Okay.
So it starts from getting the best fabrics in the quickest time at the most favorable price.
Okay. So in India, where do you get the best fabrics and
in India, if it is for I'll classify it into two. The woven fabrics, definitely Mumbai and Ahmedabad is the place for woven fabrics. Especially for fashion, I think Mumbai is a good place to start with. Okay. There are a lot of producers, there are a lot of fabric engineers who give you that feel new every time you go. Okay. So you have to find them out and then you have to discuss with them. And if you want to engineer some fabrics, I think that also they will be able to help you.
Okay.
So, and there is knits, which is your t-shirts. So for that, you have to go to Tirupur is my number one option. Second is Ludhiana in India.
Okay. Got it.
So I've seen a wide range of collections in your website. So when someone is going to start a D2C clothing brand, is it necessary to start off with a n number of collections so they can start with a single collection as well? So which one is best?
No, it depends on what your brand stands for. If you are a fashion brand, right, then you need whatever is in fashion at that point of time for the area which you are catering to.
Okay.
Right? If you are not a fashion brand, there are some amazing brands who are doing only plain t-shirts. Only plain t-shirts. Yeah. And they give you some 12 colors, 18 colors. They do not sell anything else. They are also doing pretty well. So it's actually what your brand stands for. If you think that, okay, my brand stands for selling only solid t-shirts, make the best solid t-shirts at the best price and then give it to your customer.
Okay. So I've seen these autumn collections.
Yeah.
So where you're targeting this particular collection? I mean, where most of your orders are coming from for that particular collection?
It's actually, autumn collection includes a wide range of products which can be used, in between monsoon and winter. as per the Indian climate scene, there is nothing as autumn in India actually.
Yeah.
There are only 2 seasons.
Monsoon.
One is monsoon, one is summer. Nothing else, right?
Yeah.
But for people to understand, see, this is the old nomenclature of 4 seasons that we are going ahead with.
Yeah.
But I think we need to break that down also. From our next season, there will not be an autumn collection or a winter collection because it is not an Indian thing to do. There is no autumn. But for people to understand, to communicate, when you say autumn, winter, it means lag end of the year.
Yeah.
Some new products have come out. Spring, summer is the first Jan to July. Something has come out. So autumn collection, we have mixed it with denims and indigos. Yeah, because we have just left the summer. And then it is just getting cold, and maybe it's monsoon in most of the places, or then it is going to get cold. So it is not so heavy material, but denims which are breathable, and let's say some RFDs and some thicker fabrics, and we work around such things in autumn collection.
Coming back to your story, you chose millennial and you found out your manufacturers or providers. Then did you start immediately with offline sales, or how did that happen, that journey?
Okay, so we found out what we need to do. Then we were searching for from where we need to procure all these things and where we need to set up. That was a bigger question.
Okay.
So we decided, for the kind of products that we do, Bangalore is the best hub. That is the center of the industry. So there is a advice which I received from a lot of mentors that if you are starting something, you have to go right in the middle of the industry and start.
Okay.
Right? Because it makes it easier for you. And I understand it's actually good.
Okay.
If I would have started in some other parts of some India, what would have happened is a lot of resources would not be available. You would not get manpower. So if you're right in the industry, it's easier to get manpower for you to produce. And it's easier to get, storage space. It's easier to get the products that make up your product.
Yeah.
Right? For example, thread is a very important part of my business. You have to source it from some good place. And it's something which can also happen on an impulsive basis. Things, so you cannot wait for 15 days to get the best thread.
Yeah.
So for all these timely reasons, we have, done it in Bangalore. And after that, we have found out the producers, our captive units, and then we have set up a team. And then we slowly started with...
How do you find the producers that's choosing? You have an idea, you found out the location, that is Bangalore, which was surprising for me. I didn't know that Bangalore was a hub for fashion,
actually
right?
it is.
I thought that it's IT.
Tech.
Right, tech.
Bangalore is a good...
I thought that Tirupur or, Surat, things like that. Okay, then you figured that out. Then how do you find the right producer?
Okay, so see, there are 2 ways to produce. You can set up your own factories, and whatever fabrics you procure, you can actually get it stitched from your own factories.
That is high cost, high capital, right?
That is high cost, high capital. The second option is, there are already people who are experts in production. They might have 50 years experience, they might have more, they might have 10 years experience, but they are more experienced than you, right? So depend on them. That is what I did. But you have to find who is good at what.
There is a question that I have.
Please.
I'm just giving, it might be amateurish, but I feel that if we approach a big producer, will they accept all people who go to them? There will be a filter, there will be a criteria, right? That they themselves will keep a benchmark that they want, right?
Yeah, there are so many categories of production houses, right? So maybe the A category people will not encourage new guys to come in, or they will not have time to spare for it.
Even if they place the required MOQ.
Yeah, but their MOQs would be huge. So as a startup company, you may not be able to afford those MOQs,
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So what
Just for our audience, MOQ means minimum order quantity, right?
Yes. So MOQ is minimum order quantity. Yes. So if you want to start this business, and if you want to work in huge MOQs, then it's a huge risk for a startup. For startup, you have to always, try and test and rectify the errors and go. So, but there are also level B kind of production houses, which are smaller, but they give you the quality that the A houses are
So
giving.
they are hungry to get the right.
They are hungry. Actually, they are also in demand.
Yeah.
Because a lot of new people who are going to Bangalore for stitching, right? They don't have access to A. So B is always full. Then you have to use your salesman skills.
Convince them,
Convince
sell your idea.
And pay them on time. That is more important, because if you don't pay these B category factories on time, they will not.
How does that
encourage
payment
them.
works? Is it advance or
No, initially it will be of advance. Initially
100% advance?
100% advance. No, only the production, right? So production is only a small portion of the cost. It is not the entire cost.
Okay.
Fabric makes up the.
Yeah, it can be 50 also in MOQ.
It may not be 50.
More than that.
Yeah. For one design, per design, it depends. For example, there are fabric companies who will not supply to you unless you take 500 meters.
Oh,
That's a big quantity. Or let's say there will not be producers who will not encourage you unless you make 100 pieces in a single fabric.
good. I understood. So you need to source the fabric and give to the producer. Is that?
Yeah. So I will take you through. I think because I have it in my mind, so I will just take.
So our audience is very.
Yes.
They need to, if they want to start a fashion brand from scratch.
Okay.
They might not have the idea. That's it.
Okay. So if you want to start a fashion brand from scratch, the first idea is to understand your segment, like we discussed before. Right? Understand where you want to operate. You cannot be everything for everybody. It doesn't work. So I cannot make kids' clothes. I cannot make women's clothes. So I have stuck on to that gents wear for the millennials category, right? And a value proposition category, not a luxury category. So you start from whatever idea you have. There is a scope for every idea in the industry because it's a 2 trillion Indian rupee industry.
Wow.
Right?
Just in India.
Just in India, and that only in menswear.
Okay.
Only in menswear, and it is going twofold in the next 4 years.
Is it?
Yes, it is. So there is a scope for everybody.
Yeah.
So whether it is in menswear or women's wear, in the apparel industry is actually 7 times this. So there is a scope. So you start with an idea of what you want to produce or who you want to make it for. Then you identify what fabrics you want to use. You identify the fabric supply.
What are the different types of fabrics?
You have a lot of fabrics. You can work only in cotton. You can work in hemp. You can work in linen. You can work in linen cotton, and the probabilities are.
So in India, for our South Indian weather, what is the ideal fabric?
Always best to work with cotton.
Cotton.
As a customer,
Pure cotton.
Yeah, as a customer, I would like to use cotton fabrics because it is the most suited fabric for our weather.
Okay.
But then there will be combinations, a little bit of lycra, a little bit of polyester added into it.
So for cotton fabric, which is the best location to get outsource that?
See, that's what. So depending on who you're producing for example, you're producing for a women's category, then I would suggest you go to Surat.
Okay.
You go to Ahmedabad. You go to Delhi. So these are the places.
Okay.
But for a menswear, I think the first and foremost suggestion would be go to Mumbai.
Okay.
For a menswear in woven.
Okay.
If you want to make t-shirts for men, the best place would be Tirupur in South India first. And then maybe look at Ludhiana as a second alternative.
Okay.
So, and you understand who are the good fabric producers, whatever category you want, right? Understand that category, go to those suppliers, speak to them, convince them, and then take out a small lot.
Good.
Right? Then you bring it to your production house. So if the production house is in-house, so if you want to do it in-house, for example, you are making a small lot, then it is always better to do it in-house.
Exactly is the role of the production house? Are they designing the style?
Yeah.
Or are you consulting them to design the style?
No. So actually, now the fabric part is done.
Yeah.
The ideation is done. The fabric part is done. Now you have the fabrics with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what do you want to make? For example, do you want to make in the traditional category, depending on the fabric, right? Do you have a design team or are you a designer by yourself?
Okay.
Okay. Do you have some design ideas? In case you do not have, you can outsource designers.
Okay.
And design your products.
Okay.
Yeah. And then create your pattern.
Okay.
Then once all this is ready and you're good to go, Then you take the material to the production house. So if you have an in-house production house, it may be just 4 machines.
Okay.
That is also a production house. So you can, if you can do it in-house and with 4 machines, you can do that. It depends on the bulk or the volume that you want to go for. Or you can also go to an outside captive factory, discuss with them, convince them to take your production. And it's a little bit difficult done than said.
While you're convincing, you need to have that design with you, right?
Yes. So
To sell that design to the
no,
producer.
that is the thing you have to create. If it is only on paper, then it will be very difficult for a production house to understand. It's called a tech pack.
Okay.
Okay, a tech pack is a drawing of a design based on which you make your sampling and production.
Okay.
It's called tech pack.
So in it, you will be having the entire measurements,
Everything,
pattern,
entire
everything.
measurements, colors, whatever.
So while you're approaching a production house,
Yes.
you need to have a tech pack.
Yes.
Which is a drawing.
Yes.
With all the details.
Yes.
It is not a real prototype or anything.
No.
It is just a
If you don't have an in-house production house, right, you cannot make a prototype.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So you just have a feel of how your product looks like in a tech pack.
Okay.
Now you should convince a good production house relevant to your product, right? So there will be some people who are only stitching trousers. So there is, and if you're planning to make shirts, there is no point of taking your or convincing them to do your shirts. It will not be good. So identify who are the good production houses that are relevant to your category.
Got it.
Then you go to them and then you can make a sample.
Okay.
It's very difficult to convince them to make a sample when you're new, but it depends on how much skill you have or how good your convincing power is.
Got it.
Because they already have business in hand. So why should they help you? All these questions will be answered when you go there.
And
What is one thing that you put? How did you convince them?
So you convinced the B category, right, initially?
Yes, I convinced the B category. See, for me, I had already set up an office in Bangalore. So I had
credibility there.
Yes, and I had fabrics in-house. Yeah.
Okay.
And I asked the producer to come to my office and see, this is how I did. And he sees the fabric, which means he knows the business is for sure. I'm not whiling his time.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if I go to his office and I discuss with him, and it's only a 50-50 chance. Now it's a 75% chance because he knows like I have got fabrics.
Yes.
And
He's serious about it.
I'm
You
very
have an
serious
office.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have got the tech pack ready, which means this is a sure business.
Sure business.
So that's how you convince a businessman.
That's nice.
And what was your first number of MOQ?
No, my first number of MOQ was very high. I had to give it for that.
That was his. You offered that.
Yes. No, actually, I had spoke to him earlier also, before making the procurement.
Okay.
I had spoken to a couple of people and I had shortlisted maybe 3 or 4 people to make my shirts because that is how they would have, I would get the quality done. Now what happened was, he told me that he would do it only if we make 100 shirts in a design. This was the first production. 100 shirts.
That was his offer.
Yeah. Only if it's 100, I will take up the production.
Got it.
So I was having this idea of getting 50 shirts produced in the same fabric, which means the quantity of fabric
The designs can be different. The fabric should be same. Or is the
the fabric, for example, let's say a white fabric, white X fabric. So he needs 100 shirts from it. Only then he's ready to produce.
Okay.
I had a plan of producing only 50 shirts. Because it was a start.
Got it.
But the prints can be different, right?
Anything? No. A fabric is a fabric. It comes in a roll, a bundle.
Oh, you can't maybe print on it?
No.
Okay.
All these are ready-made.
Oh, okay.
After we learn designing and all, then we can think of printing on a fabric.
Oh, so you started with a solid.
No. I had solids. I had prints.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a couple of other materials also. But I'm just giving an example. Unless and until I made 100 shirts, he was not ready to work with me.
Got it.
Yeah, so I had to procure fabrics for 100 shirts rather than 50 shirts, which is a cost for me.
Yeah.
But I started off because I wanted this producer to make it for me.
Okay.
So once he saw that, okay, fine, I am ready with everything, and then he came to my office, then we started our work. So it's all about don't be of the mind that you will get everything right in the first round. Okay, you should be ready to take a risk here because this is just a trial and error kind of a business. And unless and until you go through some 5 cycle of runs in your production, you will not be an expert, or you'll not learn anything from this. So go to a very reliant production house and get your products done.
Got it. And how was the response like for those 100 shirts?
Yeah. So
I don't know. In between, after, like, we can continue with the same story. Like,
Okay.
I mean, you ordered for 100 shirts. Then what happened?
Yeah, so actually it is the 100 shirts from one bundle of fabric. So I had 80 bundles.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started a production of around 8,000 pieces initially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now these 8,000 pieces had to be taken to the market.
Okay.
You did not have a market.
Okay.
You did not have, your outlet number one. But I did some research on, what sells and what would not sell,
Okay.
and all that.
And where you manage the storage?
Yeah.
At your office itself?
Yeah, it's actually 8,000 pieces is a very small storage area required. It's not very huge. Yeah. So we had a very small office, and it was just two of us, the founders. That's it. There was nobody else. So we used to carry the fabric into the godown, take it to. There was no helper. Nobody was there. So we were the only people doing it, and we wanted to take this out to the market. So when we took it out to the market, we realized that you will not be able to convince. So it depends on your style
Now,
of business.
whom
Also.
do you want to convince? That's
Okay. So now
is the distributor or
yeah. So there is a possibility you go to a distributor.
Okay.
But why should a distributor back the new standard? Yeah. There is. Okay. So then you realize, okay, maybe you go directly to the retailer. So now why should a retailer keep up?
Yeah.
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 His real estate is also important.
Yes, his real estate is important, and textile is one place of business where you would not find empty spaces.
Yeah. You have to fill.
You have to fill. So which means you have to be very relevant.
Yeah.
You have to give him some value and then get into a store.
Got it.
Right. So this is in Jan 2020, and I realized that 8,000 pieces were not enough because there were only 80 styles.
Okay.
Imagine I had done 50 shirts, then it would have been 160 styles in 8,000 pieces.
Yeah.
So now I realize that a retailer has to see a lot of styles to pick a few styles, even though they are all good. He will not take 100% of all the styles.
Yeah.
Got it.
So then I scaled up the process. I actually got some more fabric and did some beautiful shirts, and then Corona came.
So when Corona hit, you still haven't signed up with a single retailer?
No, we did. So from Jan and Feb, I had around 40 retailers signed.
In and around Bangalore?
In and around South India.
South India.
Yeah, so we didn't concentrate Bangalore initially because Bangalore was a more difficult market to get.
Yeah.
Because
High
all
competition.
producers are there. Yeah, so we came down south and we started Kerala and Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
So we cracked 40 outlets and we did get a...
Did you directly approach a retailer or was it through a distributor?
No, directly. Because we did not find a distributor at that point of time. So we went to the market and we were to outlet number 1, to outlet number 2, discuss with them. Sometimes people will not be there. So you go again.
So how do you convince a retailer?
It is very difficult. It is very difficult, but this is something you had to do. Otherwise you wouldn't create a brand, no? If people are not wearing it, then it is not a brand. So, I mean, I have been in the sales and marketing business for 16 years. So using those expertise, okay, I had to convince the retailer and I had to get a good sales manager in the company. So that is the first position that we had in the company.
Okay.
So we started this drive, but unfortunately, Corona, has blocked everything and a lot of time went by. And that is the time we decided that we need to go online. So I hope you...
Yeah.
So first is the ideation of what you want to create.
Yes.
Second is get a good supply of fabrics based on the product you want to create. Third, if you have a designer, well and good. If you don't have a designer, outsource a designer and then create your patterns. Create what you want to, tech packs of what you want to do. Number 4, you have to go to a producer to get it produced. So it needn't be in bulk quantity. You can also do these in small quantities, depending on how you want to sell it. So I was planning to go entire South India to all the multi-brand outlets, all outlets I wanted to go. So that is the reason why I wanted a big production. Now, if it is like a small business that you want to run at home, start it small.
Okay.
So,
Got it. I understood.
that is what you need to do.
So we have finished the bulk production. Now, how do you go to the market? Like, what is the next step?
Once you have your products ready with you, you have to decide, which market you want to go to. It's actually a decision which you have taken earlier based on your research in the market. But how do you want to sell it? So this should already be a prepaid, decision. Yeah, before you make the bulk.
In the ideation stage itself,
You have to decide what channel of distribution you want to use in the market. So you can either use the D2C model, where you can build your website. You can go to the marketplaces, the online marketplaces, who will help you sell your product. Or you can initially use the WhatsApp and Instagram, social media channels. You can also use the offline channel. Which means you can go to the market, you can find the right retailer for you, and convince them to take your product.
Okay.
So
you chose the fourth one.
yes, so I chose the fourth one because it was a predetermined decision that we will go and reach this many multi-brand outlets in South India.
Got it. And then COVID struck, and you had to start an online channel.
Yes, actually we were forced to start an online channel because of COVID we had no place to sell.
Okay.
So then we decided that we have to start an online channel. Then we built our website.
So, but at that time, did you have any idea about how to sell online?
No. I have no idea about how to sell online, but I knew that this was going to be a very relevant channel in the future.
Okay.
Because all the production houses, or let's say brands, which had a good, strong online channel, survived Corona.
Got it.
Right? So and that period was going to change.
Okay.
The way people buy, the way my consumers buy, and they might rely on online channels further. Even if after Corona, we had this feeling that yes, they might go back to the mobiles and order.
Okay.
So this trend was rising in India, where the online mode of business was happening.
Okay.
But I think during Corona gave it a springboard.
This is a huge.
Yeah, huge boost. They just, so then we couldn't avoid getting into online. So then,
You just started a Shopify site.
yeah, we started a Shopify site, and on the marketplaces, online marketplaces also, I convinced some people to, like Amazon,
Okay.
to enlist my product, and we listed it by 2022. We were in online with a very strong presence.
Got it. Then, like during COVID, you switched to online also. You opened up that channel, and then post Corona, what happened?
Well, actually, post Corona, things were slow in the start, right? Because people were just getting back to normal. But I think a lot of realizations happened during Corona, and the brands that survive this hardship are willing to give anything to become the best in the industry. There are a lot of brands who failed. There are a lot of brands who shut down because of this crisis.
Okay.
But that survival instinct, if you have survived, then it gives you a different energy boost altogether.
Got it.
That you want to get there.
Got it.
Yeah, so Corona changed our mindsets and made us think that we need to become, one of the best in the industry.
Got it.
And that is how we ended up speaking to Fahad.
Yeah, that is the elephant in the room. So how did you convince Fasil to?
But this image, like it automatically appeared, I guess, right? Fahad's image. Maybe because of the link, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I was wondering back in it was 4 years back, and still I thought like you posted the image. No.
No.
So when you got signed up with him?
So in 2022, we. So how did we decide, that we wanted?
Oh, yeah, that is the more important part. Like, so right now you just started a brand.
Yes.
You got a bunch of retailers. You have an online channel, and now your main aim was to build your brand.
Yes.
Till then, were you investing in your brand?
Not really.
No,
Not really.
no advertisements.
No,
nothing.
not really.
You were just setting up the distribution.
Yes.
Right. And nobody knew what Estilocus is.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And then, why did you think that you need to build a brand?
Okay. So let me get to the basics of why we were thinking about getting fastened into the brand. So before that, I realized that what is a brand is the question that I always had, right? So you are not a brand because you are on a lot of hoardings, you are seen on TV. There are a lot of people who spend a lot of money on that and still have not gotten into the minds of the customer or the consumer. So a brand is something which the consumer keeps in his heart. It's favorites. It's so he loves it, and that's why it's a brand. For in my experience, there are a lot of people who don't advertise, but who have become big brands. So you have to connect with the consumer. You have to identify his needs, and you have to provide for him what is as per his expectation. And maybe delight him after that. So once you get into the heart of the consumer, then that is when you become a brand.
Got it. In my perspective, I think if you are a brand, it helps you get the first purchase of a customer. Like if there are a lot of options, if I know that Estilocus is a credible brand, there is higher chance that if I have not yet used Estilocus, there's a higher chance that I can pick it up and try it.
Yes.
If I don't know the brand, it's harder.
Yes.
And if the product is good enough, I don't need additional credibility. I'll be a loyal customer.
Correct. So there are two things which you just mentioned. The first purchase is the most difficult. For that, you need communication to the customer. They know what we provide. That is just one portion of getting to be a brand. You need your customer to use it, and then he has to reuse it, and he has to come back to you, and he has to love you. Then you become a brand. Right? So the first purchases are the hardest. And the most important, because if he purchases it once and if he's happy with it, he comes back to you, like what you said. If he's not happy, he goes to the next.
And he also will say bad thing about the brand.
Exactly. If you make him unhappy, then that's it's negative for whatever brand building activities you're doing. So we actually wanted to communicate to the customer what we are, and we need people who are of the same minds as us to love the brand. For example,
that means millennials who wants to invest in a shirt that they want to reuse.
Yes, that is one of. So I can just maybe put it in a different way. See, fashion is just a tool for self-expression, right? So if you want to express yourself, to be authentic to yourself and say that, this is all I want. I do not have a fear of missing out. So I am what I am, or, this is just an extension of what I wear. So if you have that, then I think this is the brand for you. All the other things in an apparel we give you. We give you a good fit. We give you the best stitching possible for this value. We give you the best fabrics available. We use the best trims, and we have only ethical practices in our businesses. So this is what we believe in, and nothing more. Like, we will not tell you if you wear this, you will become, you will be looked at. No, it's fashionable. So, and is this a fashion for you? If it is, welcome to the club. So that is what that's what we wanted to tell our customer. Or, and that is the reason why we got Fahad as the face of the brand.
Okay, because
Fahad has certain
qualities
which directly relate to
Understood.
our thoughts on the brand.
Got it, understood. That's how you picked
Mr. Fahad Fasil as the brand ambassador. For example, when me and my co-founder were discussing, he was the only person who did not have a fan club at that point of time.
Makes sense.
He was not as popular as he is right now. So this is 2.5, 3 years back. So he was actually getting into mainstream cinema.
This is before Vikram.
Yes. So he was actually being a known face nationally and internationally. For his acting skills. So this is the quality that we like, He just goes about doing what he is best at.
and avoids all. I think he's not even in Instagram.
Yeah,
if I'm not
yes,
wrong.
I think so. Yes.
He's totally celebrity.
Yes.
It's not in Instagram.
So we found this quality very relatable to the qualities of the brand. So I don't want to wear something because somebody internationally is wearing this. I want to wear something because I want to show everybody who I am and nothing more. Right? So that is the reason we identified Fahad as the most relatable brand ambassador to the brand.
Got it. Makes sense. And coming to again, you are a 2-year-old brand at that time.
Yes.
So how do you approach a celebrity like a Fahad Fasil when you are a relatively younger fashion brand, right?
Yes. It's a very difficult question to answer. See, yeah. Basically, when you dream of something, right? When you dream of
The
something,
universe.
that is a polo code. But I believe that if you keep thinking about it day and night, and if you really want to get it done, and if it is for good, then it will happen. We did our best. We did our best. Spoke to a lot of people. It was very difficult to get in touch. But then we put across this idea of what we want to be. And this is what we see our brand as. And by God's grace, he said, yes, okay, let's do it. We were new. So I also think that he helps out a lot of new talent. He works with a lot of new people.
Yeah.
So he looks at whether it's going to be a successful product. So maybe he identified as that we would be successful.
Yeah.
And he wanted to join the journey. So that's how we looped in.
That is a huge investment, right?
Yes, if you can say, I would consider it as a good investment.
Good investment. So then, as a young brand, if someone onboards a huge celebrity like a Fahad Fasil, how can you utilize it? How should someone then the investment? Then you have to start investing again in hoardings and all the things, right?
So all these things come as a part of.
Or signing up a celebrity.
No, even before that.
Okay.
So you should always come out with a plan. So he already had this plan of getting to a big brand. And I did have, it's still a bootstrapped company.
Okay.
So we have our set of investors whom we talked to. And we had projected for the next 5 years what we wanted.
Okay.
And all these things were approved within that.
Okay.
So it depends on what scale you want to go. Okay. The scale that I am looking at is to become one of the biggest in South India, and that's where we started. So all this was part of the plan.
Part of the plan.
Yes. Right. But it's a very risky, proposition, and it involves a lot of hard work and finances and operations and a lot of teamwork. So if you have this in your mind, then you have to plan big.
Got it. When you distribute, you sign up Fahad Fasil and you need to create ads, right? Yes. Hoardings, print. What I've seen is that the majority of the attention is given to the photo shoot and celebrity and the logo. That's it. Is that?
No, actually, we wanted to keep it very plain and simple. I've always realized too much communication is actually bad. So just put it as simple as possible. What do you want to What we want to communicate that? See, we have good clothes and he is the face of the brand. That's it. So in our hoarding, it's just Estilocus and shirts, t-shirts and trousers, nothing else.
And how did you did you feel that your brand started getting recognition after that? How did you feel? How do you measure it?
Yes, I did. See, when we looped in Fahad Fasil and started photo shoots and communicating this, there was a lot of difference in the way markets was.
Yeah, when you try to get listed in a retail shop.
Yes, when you get listed in a retail shop. So as of now, we have not used any Fahad Fasil content on the online. But right now we are going to start that also.
Okay.
So what we think is that is definitely going to give us a lot of mileage because he is a known brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he is associated with us,
huge credibility.
Yes, there is a huge credibility. It makes it builds a lot of trust, and we want to stick to that. that trust, and we want to deliver to the customers.
So penetrating to the markets becomes way easier, right? Getting to the shelves of
yes,
right?
Yes.
And how immediate is the revenue increase happening? Like, is it an immediate impact or is it a long-term impact?
It is actually a long-term impact. See, if you bring a celebrity into business, you cannot expect everybody to come and buy.
Right.
Definitely, he is an influencer for the brand, but it takes its time.
Right.
Okay. For somebody to get convinced to a brand, become loyal to a brand, it's a very time-taking process. It doesn't happen over a day. If it happens over a day, it's not a brand.
Good. And how does these celebrity endorsements work? Like, is it an annual contract or?
Yes, actually, it's an annual contract.
Okay.
Oh, you need to renew after a year.
Yes.
But you said you haven't used any videos or any assets of Fahad Fazil on online, right?
Yes.
Then
No, actually, initially the discussion with him was for offline because it was the time that we started.
That was the
online.
mandate.
Yes. So now actually we are going
Extending
to,
the contract.
Yeah, we are extending it and getting into online also.
offline plus online.
Online. Yes. Yeah.
Got it. Understood. And then how's things right now? Like, I mean,
So I think things have gotten a lot better. The starting was easier than the sending first. So right now, after 4 years of operation, I feel we have reached a stage that people start liking you.
yeah.
People start liking you. They have accepted your products, and we have validated that yes, this is the right product. And when people start loving you, then that's a good feeling that you get. Your hard work pays off, right? But there is a long way to go. So from the start, it was just 2 of us. Now it's a team of 36 people. So you have to improvise. You have to get better on your production. So right now, from there, actually, we do have our own production unit where we craft special products.
Okay.
And then there are captive units, for the regular products.
Okay.
So you come a long way. Every day is an evolution. Every day is a trial and error. You fail every day. And then you enjoy that little bit of success. And then fail again on another aspect or level. Then you correct it.
Basically, that's the journey of all entrepreneurs.
Yes,
right?
exactly. So it's
You just
not
have
a
to survive.
Yes.
If you survive long enough, you.
Yes. But surviving for the sake of survival also is not enough because you have your investors looking at you.
Yeah.
Even though we are bootstrapped, we have investors. We have an opportunity to get investors from outside when we are scaling up the brand. So people are watching you,
Yeah.
If you are making the right moves, that's good for you. If you are making the wrong moves, then it's bad for business.
And currently, what is the percentage like of sales shares if you compare offline with online?
Yes. So right now we do almost equal on both platforms. Almost equal. So offline and online. Because from last year, there has been a drastic change in the online business this year.
Okay.
So most probably this year we'll end up with
Online more.
Online 50% and offline 50%.
So equal sales, which one has lesser effort?
Okay. I used to think that online has lesser effort. So I started offline.
Yeah.
So once offline was set up and we had a considerable number of retailers and we are still on the growth, but we have that base platform to work on. I thought online is going to be easy. Now I realize that for online, you have to become a content manager. You have to become a director of photography. You have to be everything all at the same time. And you need a lot of teams behind work, behind this work. You cannot do it alone. Even for offline, you needed people, but it was a lesser number of people that were required. Now for online, it's a very different channel. It's new to us.
As an agency, we know like you need an ads guy to run the ads. You need a production guy to shoot the videos.
Exactly.
You need an SEO guy to optimize on Google.
Yes.
Right.
You need a content creator on Instagram.
Correct.
You need an influencer.
Correct. So all the things you are doing for your clients need to be done for me.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult task, but I think we are learning it on the go.
Got it.
Yeah, we are making our mistakes and getting better at it.
So in online, how do you get sales? is it an organic, like your loyal customer comes back to your website and buys it, or is it?
There is both. There is both. Actually, in online, initially there will not be an organic traffic, is what I realized. So you have to make that organic traffic with your content. So we are at a stage where we have around 20%, 25% repeat rate. So you can call that as a the organic, or they have experienced it. So I think as per the industry standards, 25% is really good. Good. So we are in a process of improving that, and now we are actually going into retention marketing, where
in WhatsApp, email.
Yes. There are loyal clients are given a sneak peek into our new collections at first, and
Got it.
we keep them in the loop.
Got it.
Yeah, but both of the businesses have different challenges, and both are hard. Both are hard.
If you want to make one sale, I think equal effort is needed, right? There is no easy route.
Yes.
For all the stuff, right?
Yes.
So on your website also, like, you got 10 lakh plus customer base.
Yes. No, actually, 10 lakh products actually.
Products?
Yes, 10 lakh products. So I think it is a miscommunication which we are discussing. It's actually 10 lakh products sold. So we identify it as
customer.
so 10 lakh happy customers.
Okay.
Wow, great. And coming to one more question, like, I haven't seen a lot of brands catering both to men and women.
Okay.
So why is that? Like, is it very hard to cater to both genders at the same time?
No, there are big brands doing it. For example, Westside.
Okay,
Westside does it.
Yeah.
Max
Store.
does it.
Yeah.
Soul Store does it.
Yeah.
A lot of brands do it. But for me, in my initial capacity, not today, in my initial capacity, I was happy to serve the millennials who are male, because I understood the pain points. I also had a point of view on what designs would go, what designs wouldn't go. So that is the reason I chose. If you have the capacity to do both, then you should go and do both, because the industry is so huge.
Got it, understood. I think we had a lot of insights.
Even the storyline was pretty interesting.
A lot of new stuff. I thought it was way more simpler. It's very hard to crack. I think you have a bigger ambition to reach. I hope that you reach it one day and become the biggest brand in India when it comes to shirts for men. So thank you so much, Ladeesh, for coming over. And,
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, wish you all the best.
Thank you. So, thanks for having me. And this is the first time that I'm sitting in front of the camera. Okay. And also, I just want to give that final note of what I wanted to say through this podcast is that if, you wear clothes for yourself, clothes are just an extension of you. Okay, you should look good in them, and it's without saying a word, you can make a statement of who you are through your clothes. So, and if you are not aspiring to be a fast fashion person, then I think this brand has got some really good stuff for you. So please do check it out.
Absolutely. Listen, we will put the link of Estilocus, and you can directly check it out and buy for yourself.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much.